Now let's talk about Power Rangers SPD. Now, guys, when it came to this season particularly, like I said with Dino Thunder, like I wish they ended it there, but we got more seasons instead with SPD and more seasons to go within the later 2000s. This season I had a lot of fun with. It took me back to the seasons that I loved. It took me back to when I saw it. It took me back to those memories that I had when watching my favorite seasons from Lost Galaxy and Space, Zeo, Turbo, all those. It took me back to that time period in my mind and say, okay, this is actually a season that I freaking enjoy because it takes elements from the Power Rangers continuity, but it throws it in its own show. Now, what's the plot? Basically, there is this Space Patrol Delta organization that trains people into becoming Power Rangers to stop multiple, galactic threats, and they have to stop them. Basically, like Star Troopers in a sense. They go around policing the galaxy and making sure things don't happen, bad things don't happen. But, they basically have to stop multiple characters, multiple villains, like Grum, who was one of the main bad guys of the season. That I felt very, like, his character was pretty generic. It was a generic bad guy. But there were some other things that I have to give props towards. I liked the characters. The first time the first time going into a season, I enjoyed all the characters. From Jack, Sky, Sid, Z, and Bridge. All those characters I liked. There were things that I liked about each character. Let's do a rundown. Sid is the Pink Ranger. Even though she's kind of comes off as like the rich type character, but still shown that she can change and become a hero in her own light. And she wasn't that dim when it came to characterization of her character, but I found that her character had some fun comedic timing with her some semi relationship that she had with Sky. Then we have Z. Her backstory is very interesting. She, basically had the power of being able to create multiple versions of herself, and because of this, she felt, you know, outside looking in and always wanting to find a way to make things good for herself. She was kind of like the straight arrow character of the show that I liked. And that was a female. Like, usually those kind of characters in Power Rangers are guys. And I like that they switched that up for her character. Bridge, he was kind of the comedic relief of the character of the season, but he was more on the line on smart. His, like, when he showcased like the geek, like the smart type on the screen. Those were the scenes that showed his comedic timings very well when it came to his perspective of his character. Now, Sky, whoa, man, I still believe somehow he is Wes's son. And I know a lot of people have pointed out that it's possible that he couldn't be him because of certain things being convoluted enough to do for future Power Ranger stuff. Like, he had his DNA morpher when he had his DNA morpher that's still kept in his powers. So it's possible he found out the secrets when he had it. He kept it. So it's possible he found out the secrets and helped build SPD on his team of creating morphers. I think that's a cool way. That I think that would have been a cool concept that I liked. You know, this was the season that I liked. This was the character I liked the most because he felt like he was training his whole life to be like his father. Then he sees this new character, Jack, who becomes this character who has no training, no nothing. He's like the no nonsense character who felt like he should be the leader of the Red Ranger. But besides his points of how he felt, you know, all these years of training, he always wanted to be like his father. You know, he did. It showed that his character did warm up to other things that happened without the series with this character. I felt like he had a very stern type of relationship with certain characters in this series. You know, he's always trying to make sure everyone's on their toes. He felt more like the leader of the team, though Jack was honestly, let's talk about Jack and how I think about him as a character. I like him as a character because he's not he just does things on the seat of his pants. Like, he'll just react. And that's what I liked about his character of this season. You know, he just kind of like had a great buddy relationship with Sky. You know, it's like, yeah, I know that I might not be the perfect guy, but you have to at least give me some chance to prove myself. And I think he proved himself worthy enough to be the leader of the team. And I enjoyed this season very much, not just because of the story felt very well paced. I know there was some of the stuff in the back half of the season got a little bit too goofy and silly, but it's Power Rangers. It's cheesy, silly, stupid, fun. I find in this show, but honestly, one of the best Power Ranger seasons that the Disney era Power Rangers had to give. And that's my review of SPD. Honestly, yeah, there were some other characters that rotated in as heroes, but I was just talking about the main 5 characters, and that's it. You know, I felt this show was very fun. I enjoyed it. So if you like this video, comment, rate, and subscribe. Peace.